Yo, this is the Scarcitystudios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.
Conspiracy squad, man don't ask me questions, man already know I'm an op. Rolling deep, 2 shotguns, wood grain roll the spot. I'll probably slide through the green, but not through Stratty, they're washed. It's a waste of time and it
It was only the other day he was on SPAC Nation, a BBC documentary about the church, applying to get funding for a music group.
Young Dizz is in the studio recording his latest track.
Yeah.
He's still considering the church's offer. They'll go into business with him, but only if he stops rapping about violence.
And now he's serving 12.5 years for a kidnap and torture of a 16-year-old boy. Young Dizz from South Newham, London, who the police claim is a lead member in a gang called Six, who have been at war for the past few years with north side of Newham, known as 7th. CB and 3 other members of 7th were recently convicted for 23 years for conspiracy to commit GBH when they was caught with a shotgun, knives and a clown mask in a car that involved police chase and a shootout.
302, location of Villa.
Shit. Pointing a long barrel weapon at us.
Young Dizz at the same time also got off with 3 firearm charges. He beat the case he was looking on, God knows how. But this case has been going on since August 2018. I haven't seen him speak about this just released Conspiracy Squad on his own channel, due to the fact that because he keeps speaking about the murders of children, no other media channels will upload his music anymore because the police keep removing it. So it's not beneficial to the channel to keep working with an artist who is his own worst enemy. This case involves 5 members of alleged members of Six. They are actually all 16 and 2 are 14 years old. The boy who was actually kidnapped was 16 years old. Dizz is 22 years old. His real name is Isaac Donko. Police claim on their website he's a gang member and drill music artist from the Newham area. He has been sentenced to 12.5 years. All 5 defendants pleaded guilty to kidnap, false imprisonment, GBH and a number of other offences. Dizz had previously enlisted the help of a 16-year-old who knew the victim, and on the night of the 2nd of August 2018, the 16-year-old made contact with the victim, suggesting they meet in Gordon Road, Barking. The victim turned up as agreed, and a short time later, a dark blue Ford Mondeo pulled up with a young Dizz driving, 4 other youths in the passenger seats. The victim was punched in the head and body and ordered into the vehicle. He was threatened with a machete, and once in the car, 2 plastic bags were put over his head and secured with an elastic band. In evidence, the witness stated that at this point I thought they were going to kill me. Young Dizz then drove the car to the home of one of the 14-year-old defendants. On arrival, Donko told the victim that the gang were in possession of a gun and 2 knives. The victim was held for approximately 2 hours at the address and subjected to a violent and humiliating ordeal. He was forced to strip naked while young Dizz filmed him on his iPhone and threatened to cut him up if he did not do so. The men hit him with a metal pole over the face, back, legs and arms, and his hair was forcibly cut with scissors, during which time he was slapped in the face, forced to kneel, kicked hard in the back of the head. Young Dizz tried to pour boiling water over the victim's head, resulting in the scalding of the victim's feet, causing serious injury. The victim tried removing his socks, but young Dizz would not allow him to. He was also forced to swallow a cannabis joint, also known as a spliff, kicked in the face and threatened with scissors. All incidents young Dizz filmed on his phone. The victim was forced to call his parents and beg for £1,500 in order to secure his release. He was ordered not to speak to the police and taken back to where they had actually kidnapped him from, in Barking. An investigation was launched by Trident and the Area Crime Command, along with local officers from the gang unit. They quickly identified young Dizz and his accomplices. One of the 16-year-olds kept the victim's phone and on arrest sought to conceal the evidence from police by telling them that he found it in the street. And on the 16th of August, the victim was contacted via Snapchat and told that young Dizz wanted him to drop the charges and not show up to court. He would give him £5,000 if he did so. The Detective Chief Inspector John McKee, formerly of Trident, who led the investigation, said this was an extremely violent incident which had a profound, distressing impact on the victims and the family. Whilst the physical scars of that night have started to heal, I believe believe the psychological impact on the victim has been lasting. Young Dizz fronted drill music videos for his gangs, which goaded rivals and recruited boys as young as 14 to commit serious violence. I believe that removing young Dizz from the streets of Newham has done a great deal to reduce serious violence in the borough, as we identified a direct correlation between his drill videos, which glorified violent shootings and stabbings in the street, and the real life activities. Isaac Donko pleaded guilty to conspiracy to kidnap, conspiracy for false imprisonment, conspiracy to blackmail, causing GBH, perverting the course of justice by offering a witness money, and perverting the course of justice by attempting to persuade a witness. He was sentenced to 12.5 years. A 16-year-old male who hasn't been named also pleaded guilty to perverting the course of justice and conspiracy to kidnap. 2 16-year-olds and 2 14-year-olds all got 2.5 years for their roles in this kidnap and torture case. And I have to admit, it was quite a surprise. I had no idea that this case was actually pending. After his recent gun charge case, I didn't think he had any other cases left over. So in the past year, we've seen 2 members from rival gangs in the Newham area sentenced to significant sentences, with the police sending a massive message that they will not tolerate this sort of behaviour. I'd love to hear what people have to say on this, so please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe, and check out our other video on the Corey Johnson murder. I'll leave a link in the description.
I like to do violent music, so whenever I get in the booth, when you hear me on the tune, you know you're gonna hear some violent stuff. I'm not gonna, man, that's not me, man, you get me? I want that violent shit 24/7, man.